social media, a global tool that is changing the way people interact with each other. Through comments, likes and shares, even revolutions can occur, according to some specialists. But is the internet truly global? Is everyone invited to participate? And how social media is helping with urgent matters in the contemporary world? In this project, important concepts to discuss social media today will be critically assessed. Participatory culture, the notion of inclusion online, imperialism and feminism will be approached from a market perspective, in an interview with Larissa Storti, a global strategist working for a leading advertising agency, PhD Media. Ms. Storti has a central role in the industry, defining global strategies and approaches for campaigns, especially online. Therefore, social media are in the center of her professional discussion. We will then critically reflect about our interviewee's opinions from an academic point of view, revisiting the work and concepts of important authors related to the subject.
Totally, actually. Social media is a channel that people can comment, like, react. The communication is not done through only one direction. Communication is done through a lot of ways, and the consumer or the people, they can actually be the centerpiece of the message, which is actually one of the things that I most like about this channel. So I believe social media launched an era where brands actually are not in a comfortable position. They are always trying to get the message right and to adjust for what the consumer is expecting. So gender inequality, racism, all of these kind of things are not accepted anymore. The dialogue is done through a lot of directions. So in my opinion, it's an equal type of medium, because if you get an example as other types of channels, such as a print ad or a TV advertising, the consumer doesn't have the possibility to express themselves. And therefore, on social media is also the channel they could express themselves about a creative idea or about a campaign on other channels. So in my opinion, it's actually really important that brands get it right. Inclusion is a very it's a great word to talk about that, because I believe it was the first channel actually in the world where things could be done differently and not only through one direction.
Our interviewee understands social media based on the notion of participatory culture, a term coined by Henry Jenkins. In the book Convergence Culture from 2008, Jenkins defines participatory culture as a culture in which fans and other consumers are invited to actively participate in the creation and circulation of new content. According to the author, the Web 2.0 and social media developed a medium based on participation and content creation. In that sense, consumers are invited to create, shape, and share content with brands, having a high influence on the communication flow. As Ms. Storti said, it's all about a communication made by many to many. But what kind of participation is expected from the consumer online? Our interviewee goes further in the discussion.
The good campaigns, they expect the consumers to share, to participate, and to comment. This is my opinion, actually, because it's one of the main metrics we approach in a social media campaign is engagement, and this is actually what is the consumer reaction after that campaign. Were the comments positive? Did they like the product? Did they like the story behind of that campaign? So this is actually a high expectation from brands. So I believe the best brands and the best campaigns, they expect the consumer to express themselves. This is actually my ambition when I create a campaign. I always think that the best measurement we could have is actually the positive consumer reaction, much more than a simple like or a simple view. Is actually the quality of the comment the consumer has actually added into that piece of communications, because there is a lot of discussion about like what are the metrics and actually the measurements companies take nowadays, and for a long time. From the beginning of social media, from the beginning of internet, brands has been focusing a lot on like numbers and video views, these kind of things, where what matters actually more is the buzz around the campaign, but in a qualitative point of view rather than in a numerical point of view. So in my opinion, it's an important thing, and brands should expect to get this out of a campaign.
The views of Ms. Storti on social media and participatory culture can be critically assessed based on an author that is particularly concerned about the political economy of social media platforms, Christian Fuchs. In his book Social Media, A Critical Introduction, Fuchs discussed the lack of some important concepts in the notion of participatory culture, such as political economy, capitalism, and the very notion of democracy. According to Fuchs, neither the users nor the waged employees of Facebook, Google, and others determine the business decisions of these companies. They do not participate in economic decision-making, but are excluded from it. In that sense, a power relation is constructed, one that doesn't have the consumer or the user as a priority. This capitalist and imperialist system are based on a market perspective in which profit is the ultimate goal. Our interviewee shows us a different opinion, and her power and influence as a global strategist is a very important matter for this discussion.
So every time I start a new campaign, I contact the markets to understand their ambitions, their priorities, their habits, their culture, everything that is so basic to get a campaign right. So this is actually my ambition. My ambition is to work, to do it together, and not to dictate something as a global level, cascading, which is the word we use, to the market.
In the second part of the interview, the relationship between feminism, social media, and the marketplace is the main topic. Especially interested in the subject, our interviewee takes us far back in the advertising history.
Yes, actually, I think we've got some achievements all over the years in the history of advertising. If we watch the 50s back, that was a disaster actually. Women used to have 3 main roles in society: cleaning, ironing, cooking, and that was it.
Shirley Wilson is not the kind of person you'd pick out of a crowd. She's not famous and doesn't particularly want to be, but she's happy enough. She loves her husband and her 2 kids, and they love her. Now and again, like most of us, she moans a bit about the housework. But she doesn't mind doing it because it's for them, and it shows the way she feels about them. She takes a bit of extra trouble about anything she buys for the home. And when it comes to choosing a washing powder, Shirley Wilson gets Persil, because, well, she likes it. She knows it's dependable, and she knows that it gets clothes just that bit whiter. And it's just that bit that shows to the outside world. Shows that she's looking after her family and wants them always to look their best. So many wives and mothers use Persil because they get confidence from it. They know that Persil washes whiter. Persil.
Nowadays, brands are attempting and they are trying their best to actually communicate and put women in a flexible role showing different types of careers, and even being more meaningful for women.
Introducing new personal power gems, extraordinary powers to remove stains, care, and freshen. Personal power gems, extraordinary powers.
So I think social media has been empowering women to actually have a stronger voice in society, and also the sense of connection, because with social media, women can get together. They can get together, they can discuss certain things that they didn't used to do in the past. Right now, I'm working on a finance institution, and I just received the data proving that actually the pay gap between women and men can be up to 30%. This is really high. This is a shocking statistic that we can't be happy about. We need to fight that. I've also seen that actually sometimes woman is not even part of 20% of the company boards. So I always report inequality and gender issues at the workplace. And I've been doing also putting this subject on my strategic plan.
Ms. Storti sees an empowering role for social media when it comes to feminism. However, on the critical side, feminism is key to an important author who has a critical opinion on social media. Based on Marxist feminism, Kylie Jarrett compares the unpaid work of housewives in the past with our current digital labor. Jarrett exposes the exploitation of labor in the digital era, with gigantic corporations making money out of people's comments, likes, and shares. The user-generated content is also an user-generated profit. In that sense, the new digital housewives are being exploited in a work that is the fabric of our modern society. Feminism is again important when the exploitation of women happens in the mechanical Turk system. Tech companies such as Amazon are still viewing women as the housewives that can be exploited, in jobs and tasks online that don't pay well, and frequently have women as the main target. Finally, the struggles for equality in the marketplace, our interviewee's last topic, is especially frequent in tech companies, the giant corporations that are controlling social media platforms and the entire internet. The 2017 reports of Women in Tech, conducted by Evia and Isaka, show a cruel reality. Less than 20% of tech jobs in the US are being offered to women. 8 in 10 say that their bosses are male. 43% of them see a clear gap between female and male wages. Throughout this video, different opinions about social media were discussed. It's clear that sometimes the market and the academia share a different perspective on the subject. Social media is, therefore, an ambivalent subject, seen as democratic and inclusive by ones, and a new version of labor exploitation by others. Our interviewees' opinions make one point clear. There is a commercial relationship happening on social media. Brands and consumers are creating, producing, and sharing together. Big corporations are expecting user-generated content. The power relations online, then, are a very important matter and have to be thought in a critical way. Ambivalence is again clear when feminism is concerned. Social media seems to give power to new voices, but at the same time, the perpetuation of old patterns based on gender inequality are still clear. In the digital era, providing a definitive answer seems to be impossible. While the discussion continues, critical theory is key to help us question the roles and models of social media, the internet, and our entire society.